All right, coming up, we're going to talk about baby sign language. Is it possible that it can increase your bond with your baby? Certainly can't help your baby stop crying. Oh, my.
Mommy, I need a haircut. No, I really need a haircut, Mommy. Would you turn down that music?
Yeah, homepage is on too loud. Thank you. Yeah, just a little too loud.
I actually like the Who better than...
But Gina and Ashley and Mika,
For many parents, the challenge of communicating with their baby is a source of anxiety. What is he trying to tell me? What does he need? Turns out you don't have to wait until baby can talk to understand what he wants. You can communicate through sign language just like this.
Yes, you want to eat? Show me. Eat? Eat more? Eat? Yes. Yes.
Water. Okay, here you go. Yeah, water. Want more applesauce? Want more? More applesauce. Yeah, okay.
Yes. Perfect in there with the shoulder signs. She's getting milk, that's right.
Yeah, here's milk.
Thank you.
And all done.
Joseph Garcia is here to tell us more about his research, and with him is Sarah Button and her very, very active daughter, Kate, who's been using the techniques that he recommends for about a month and a half now. You've been doing it?
That's right.
Oh, that's great. How's it working?
It's been really wonderful. She has just really picked it up very easily and knows about 20 signs actually right now. And
she's 21 months old.
Yeah.
And you started this a month and a half ago, and
yeah.
She's really catching on?
Absolutely, very quickly. She just really took to it, and we started with like really simple signs, and she just has gone with it.
What kind of signs does she use?
Eat, more. The big one that we used was milk, and because I still nurse, you know, it's given her the opportunity to, instead of, you know, reaching for my shirt, she can actually, you know, give me the sign.
Now, Joseph, I want to ask you about your research because she's 21 months old, but you can start a lot younger with these babies.
Oh, yes, definitely.
How young?
Well, I recommend people start around the beginning of the 7th month, and then usually within a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, you should start seeing some kind of expressive gestures.
Really?
But the child will understand a lot of the signs much sooner than they'll be able to show that through expression. But about 7 months is a good time to start.
And you see better communication and a bond with the parents when the sign language is used. You noticed when hearing impaired children were communicating with their parents with sign language, you noticed there was more of a connection, or what was it that you saw?
Yes. Well, I saw that deaf parents and their children were communicating much earlier than hearing parents were communicating with their children, so I decided to look to see at what age a child was able to understand signs and then express themselves in signs.
And how much can they learn to communicate with their parents?
Well, some babies at 9 months have learned as many as 75 signs, so you can talk about quite a few things.
Why would you need this? I know when you have a baby, there are those times when you don't know why they're crying, but they're few. Usually you can sort of figure it out.
Well, yes, but we're talking about empowering your child with the ability to express their own thoughts and ideas and needs, also to help them discover within themselves those internal resources that allow them to solve problems, see things, figure things out, and then express their desires and needs that way. And I think that's very empowering to a child.
How has this helped you, Sarah?
Well, it just seems like my husband and I have both been using it, and it just seems like we feed off of her enjoyment. I mean, she really took to it, and so it just facilitates the whole communication process so that, you know, we feel like she's understanding and communicating a lot more than she otherwise would be.
And you're about to hit the terrible twos.
Yeah, just about.
So this could help a little bit for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to ask you, Joseph, in terms of if there's a mom out there that says, I want to teach my baby sign language, where would she begin? Is it really hard to do? Do you have to be an expert?
Oh, no, not at all. There's a learning kit that's available that shows all of this, but learn a sign a day, for example, milk, more, and eat. Start with a few simple signs, and just each day maybe add one more sign. And eventually, over a period of time, you'll be able to, within 2 weeks, maybe have 14 signs that you'll be showing all the time.
We put together some tips on teaching babies sign language. It's interesting. I'd like to talk about a few of them if we could. We've got it here. The process is as important as the concept. So the process of learning is what you're talking about there.
Right, exactly.
And also you say, don't make the kids perform. So they're not learning sign language to, to be the family performer.
Right, exactly. Don't show off your kids and make them sign out of context.
Which is why I'm not going to try and get Sarah to make Kate do sign language for us right now, because you know what? She wants to crawl on the table. And you know what? I can get that. I got a 2-year-old. You do what you want, honey. You always say always reward attempts to sign. So as you go along the way, if you're getting close, make sure it's a big deal.
Definitely reward your child by all means.
Allow time for child to express needs. Is it always that the child is going to know how to sign right away, or will you develop your own language with the child?
Well, I don't recommend teaching signs to kids. I recommend augmenting your spoken language with signs so the child can discover and work out the process. So don't force feed signs. Just make it an augmentation to your spoken language.
And on to that, you know, she's actually developed a couple of her own signs. You know, we have a ceiling fan at home, and she's done this, you know, and I don't even know if that's a sign for fan, but that's what she's done. So
that's your code. I mean,
That's right.
You can develop your own family code as well. I mean, my daughter doesn't sign language, but my 2-year-old, I know what she's saying, and I have to translate for the rest of the world, which is fine. Certainly, moms do that a lot. And you also say set up real situations for signing, not with a baby though, right? No?
Well, yes. For example, the pain sign is a very common one. You want to know if your child has an earache, a headache, or sore throat, or a stomach ache.
Oh, that's interesting.
And we set up situations where I'll actually accidentally bump my knee on a chair and put the pain sign there, and the baby looks and watches me so she can learn how to put the pain sign on her or he when he gets hurt.
I bet there are parents out there who are a little bit skeptical and wonder, well, what about learning to talk? Does this hinder learning to speak?
Oh, quite the contrary. In fact, not only does it not hinder, but it promotes speech. And usually those kids who sign tend to speak early, and when they do speak, they have more to say.
Joseph Garcia, thanks very much. Sarah Button and Kate, thanks very much. Bye, honey. Appreciate it. There she is. Adorable. Thank you all for coming in. There she is with Dad. Gina, Ashley, to you now.
All right. Thank you very much, Mika.